of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, one goes much faster when he is not in a hurry. To really move forward, one should feel with complete confidence that eternity lies before him. With always our love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 1, The Book of Beginnings, Canto 4, The Secret Knowledge, page 54. Even when we fail to look into our souls or lie embedded in earthly consciousness, still have we paths that grow towards the light? Yet are there luminous tracks and heavens, serene and Eldorados of splendor and ecstasy, and temples to the Godhead none can see. A shapeless memory lingers in us still, and sometimes when our sight is turned within, earth's ignorant veil is lifted from our eyes. There is a short, miraculous escape, this narrow fringe of clamped experience we leave behind, meted to us as life. Our little walks are insufficient reach. Our souls can visit in great lonely hours still regions of imperishable light, all seeing eagle peaks of silent power and moon-flame oceans of swift, fathomless bliss, and calm immensities of spirit space. In the unfolding process of the self, sometimes the inexpressible mystery elects a human vessel of descent. A breath comes down from a supernal air, a presence is born, a guiding light awakes. A stillness falls upon the instruments, fixed sometimes like a marble monument. Stone calm, the body is a pedestal supporting a figure of eternal peace. Or a revealing force sweeps blazing in out of some vast superior continent. Knowledge breaks through, trailing its radiant seas, and nature trembles with the power, the flame. Of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, Volume 2, topic Trust in the Divine Grace and Help. Our Divine Mother says, the grace is infinite for him who sincerely trusts the grace. The divine grace is always with you, and by your trust, you allow its action to be effective. Let me repeat. The divine grace is always with you, and by your trust, you allow its action to be effective. It is in proportion to our trust in the divine that the divine grace can act for us and help. Integral trust in the divine is the trust that gives the true support to life. Our trust in the divine must not depend upon outward circumstances. Very few are those who can stand firm on the rock of their faith and trust in the divine. Our Divine Mother says it is absurd to ask for help and yet to have no trust. On the contrary, with confidence, everything becomes so easy. With trust in the Divine's grace, all obstacles can be surmounted. When we trust in the Divine's grace, we get an unfailing courage. Have full trust in the Divine's grace, and the Divine's grace will help you in all ways. Like the child who does not reason, has no care, trust thyself to the divine, that his will may be done. Our Divine Mother says, whatever happens, we must remain quiet and trust the Divine's grace. Keep a cool head, strong and very quiet nerves, and a complete trust in the Divine's grace. Aspiration for trust in the divine is an intense need for that immutable peace given by the certitude of the divine grace. Nothing can be compared to the peace that comes from a total trust in the grace. Our Divine Mother says, leave all care to the Divine's grace, including your progress, and you will be in peace. Next subtopic, the divine grace and difficulties. Our Divine Mother says, it is only by remaining perfectly peaceful and calm with an unshakable confidence and faith in the divine grace that you will allow the circumstances to be as good as they can be. The very best happens always to those who have put their entire trust in the divine and in the divine alone. Our Divine Mother says, when in your life you meet with a hardship, take it as a grace from the Lord, and indeed it will become so. In any case, whatever happens, always consider events as a gift from the Divine's grace, which is leading you by swift paths towards the spiritual goal of your life. Our Divine Mother says, keep an unshakable confidence in the supreme compassion of the divine grace, for through that it is always the best that happens, not the best according to the human ideas, but the best according to the supreme truth. Be calm and full of solid and pure faith. Our Divine Mother says, all depends on what you want. If you want yoga, take all that happens as the expression of the divine grace leading you towards your goal, and try to understand the lesson that circumstances give. For those who have given themselves to the divine, each difficulty that confronts them is the assurance of a new progress, and thus must be taken as a gift from the grace. Our Divine Mother says, when difficulties besiege you, know that the divine grace is with you. Let me repeat. When difficulties besiege you, know that the divine grace is with you. People believe that the grace means making everything smooth for all your life. It is not true. The grace works for the realization of your aspiration, and everything is arranged to gain the most prompt, the quickest realization. Our Divine Mother says, the grace is something that pushes you towards the goal to be attained. Do not try to judge it by your mind. You will not get anywhere because it is something formidable which is not explained through human words or feelings. When the grace acts, the result may or may not be pleasant. It takes no account of any human value. It may even be a catastrophe from the ordinary and superficial point of view, but it is always the best for the individual. It is a blow that the divine sends so that the progress may be made by leaps and bounds. The grace is that which makes you march swiftly towards the realization. Our Divine Mother says, of one thing we must be convinced: all that happens is exactly what must happen in order to lead us and the world as quickly as possible to the goal, the union with the divine and ultimately the manifestation of the divine. And this faith, sincere and constant, is at once our help and protection, says our Divine Mother. Next subtopic, consecration. Our Divine Mother says, consecration is the consummation when the light has illumined all the parts of your being, with a central will acting on the feelings, impulses, thoughts, emotions, activities, directing them always towards the divine. And when you move no more from darkness to light, or from falsehood to truth, or from misery to happiness, but from light to more light, from truth to greater truth, from happiness to increasing happiness. Our Divine Mother says, it is in a sincere consecration to the divine that we can find relief from our two human sufferings. The quiet mind one gets through meditation is indeed of short duration. For as soon as you come out from your meditation, you come out at the same time from the quietness of the mind. The true lasting quietness in the vital and physical as well as in the mind comes from a complete consecration to the divine. For when you can no more call anything, not even yourself, yours, when everything, including your body's sensations and feelings and thoughts, belongs to the divine takes the entire responsibility of all, and you have nothing more to worry about. Our Divine Mother says, a sincere consecration of all you are, all you do, is for the sadhana much more effective than meditation. True love and consecration lead much quicker to the divine than an arduous tapasya, says our Divine Mother. Next subtopic, difficulties, and in that the first topic, the cause and utility of difficulties. Our Divine Mother says the difficulties are always due to a resistance, some part or several parts of the being refusing to receive the force, the consciousness and the light put upon them, and revolting against the divine influence. It is rare that somebody can surrender entirely to the divine's will without having to face one or another of these difficulties. But to keep steady one's aspiration and to look at oneself with an absolute sincerity are the sure means to overcome all obstacles. Our Divine Mother says, surely all these obstacles and the trouble comes from a resistance somewhere, something that opposes the work of transformation. Always circumstances come to reveal the hidden weaknesses that needs to be overcome. Difficulties are sent to us exclusively to make the realization more perfect. Each time we try to realize something, meet with a resistance or an obstacle or even a failure, what seems to be a failure, we should know, we should never forget that it is exclusively, absolutely, so that the realization may be more perfect. So, this habit of cringing, of getting discouraged, or feeling uncomfortable, or of abusing yourself and telling yourself, there again, I made a mistake, all that is absolute foolishness. Simply tell yourself, we don't know how to do things as they ought to be done. Well, they are being done for us, come what may. And if we could see to what extent all that seems to be, yes, a difficulty, a mistake, a failure, an obstacle, all that is just to help us so that the realization may be more perfect. Once you know that, everything becomes easy. Our Divine Mother says, shocks and trials comes always as a divine grace to show us the points in our being where we fail short and the moments in which we turn our back on our soul by listening to the clamor of our mental being and our vital being. If we know how to accept these spiritual blows with due humility, we are sure to cover a great distance at a single bound. Our Divine Mother says, be absolutely convinced that everything that happens in order to give us precisely the lesson we needed, and if we are sincere in the sadhana, the lesson should be accepted with joy and gratitude. For one who aspires to the divine life, what can the actions of a blind and ignorant humanity matter to him? If truly you love the divine, prove it by remaining quiet and peaceful. All that comes to each one in life comes from the divine to teach us a lesson. And if we take it in the right spirit, we make rapid progress. Try to do so. Our Divine Mother says, difficulties come because there are possibilities in you. If in life everything was easy, then it would be a life of nothing. Because difficulties come on your way, it shows you have possibilities. So do not be afraid. Our Divine Mother says, for the aspirant and the sadhak, all that comes in his life comes to help him to know the truth and live it. Be confident. You will conquer, and it will mean a big step forward. The difficulties come always to make us progress. The greater the difficulty, the greater can be the progress. So be confident and endure. The hours preceding victory are most often the most difficult. For the individual surrender, it is the last resistance, sometimes quite insignificant, that are the most obstinate and difficult to conquer. But with a greater obstinacy, a victorious conclusion of the fight is certain. Next subtopic, never complain about difficulties. Our Divine Mother says, he who wants to walk on the path and who wants to advance on the path of perfection must never complain about the difficulties on the way, for each is an opportunity for a new progress. To complain is a sign of weakness and insincerity. Where the two extremes meet, to complain of anything at all, of oneself or others or circumstances, is a weakness and insincerity towards one's supreme self. The two extremes meet, says our Divine Mother, in their effect on the attitude towards the circumstances of life. The total surrender to the divine will manifested in all things and the consciousness of the supreme power that organizes all things according to its powerful conception. In either case, there is no place for complaint. If one is completely surrendered to the divine, how can one complain about his will, whatever form it takes? And in the other hand, if one feels the power of organizing the world according to the supreme truth of life, how can one complain about the state this life is in, since it depends only on oneself to change it? Our Divine Mother says, never grumble. All sorts of forces enter you when you grumble, they pull you down. Keep smiling. I seem always to be joking, but this is not a mere joking. It is a confidence born from the psychic. A smile always expresses the faith that nothing can stand against the divine and that everything will come out all right at the end. Our Divine Mother says, the more you grumble, the more your pains will increase. If you are not satisfied with what you are, take advantage of the Divine's help and change yourself. If you haven't got the courage to change, submit to your destiny and keep quiet. But to constantly complain about the condition you are in without doing anything to change it, it is a waste of time and energy. The difficulties can disappear only when the egoistic concentration upon desires and conveniences disappear, says our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, never worry. Do with sincerity all you do and leave the results to the Divine's care. Anxiety is a lack of confidence in the Divine's grace, the unmistakable sign that the consecration is not complete and perfect. Don't foresee difficulties. It doesn't help to surmount them and helps them to come. It is better not to worry about progress because worrying only hinders the advance. It is better to open in all trust and simplicity to the divine help and to have faith in the victory. Our Divine Mother says, live in the consciousness of the eternal and you will have no more worrying. With always my love and blessings, says our Divine Mother.
Viश्वते अप्यवा